the cats?
You are on Friday.
Friday? So what? Two? Just because you're both very handsome doesn't mean you're really loud. Hi, baby Jane. Where's the baby?
Which is like what, 85?
Okay, the baby was he's still at the living from last night.
You don't get to keep any there.
So I was going to show you a couple of clips. Has anyone seen my website before?
You're at 4 right now, right?
Instagram? Okay, cool. On the website there's a teaser.
Yeah, so friends of mine started this company.
So you guys are rolling paddle river.
They're doing really well. I mean, like, they started like trying to raise like
Hello. So keep it down. So on the website, which is myname.com, gigiedgley.com, there's a teaser to hashtag, and hashtag is a really cool project. So I've moved back, I've lived in between Los Angeles and Australia for the last 10-15 years, and I moved back to host the Jim Henson Creature Shop Challenge. If you haven't seen it, check it out, it's really cool. It's like Face Off but with big animatronic creatures, and they asked me to host it because I played Chiana on Farscape. So I moved back to shoot season 2 of Jim Henson's Creature Shop Challenge, and then I moved my dog and my cat at the time. We waited for a year, and then Brian Henson goes, oh yeah, by the way, we're not picking it up. I'm like, what? So bringing animals over here, there's no quarantine, but taking it back, I think it's now down to a month, so it's not that bad. But still, I just couldn't do it to them. So unknowingly, the animals have trapped me in Hollywood. And now, stupidly, the other day, we got 2 new kittens. And they're so cute. Their names are Digit McFly and Zip McQueen. And they're rat bags. And you don't even see them. All you hear is like, and then you see something destroyed, or a vase crashing or something. And our dog MacGyver is so funny because we thought it could go either way. Because years ago I had a 20-year-old cat, and that's who MacGyver grew up with. So every other cat he sees, he sort of runs after, and I'm sure he wouldn't do anything if you caught it, but he's so So when we brought the 2 kittens in, you've never seen this dog smile. So like he just watches them like, I'm like, is he gonna eat them? Are you moderating me? Oh, good. Sorry for being naughty. Nexus is on my chip. I'm still on the microphone. Where's the baby? Oh, now she's up there. She's like a ninja baby. This is nice. So in my bag, babe, it's on the in one of the satchels here. So yeah, guys, I'm here for you. I will answer anything you like. This is beautiful. Let me introduce myself. My name is Gigi. This is my beautiful baby daddy, the big gremlin. The little gremlins, first name Sky, second name Walker, is asleep in the pram. We'll see for how long. We think she's still there. Let's have a look. Yeah, so when I came to shoot the season of Jim Henson's Creature Shop Challenge, and I said it was cancelled, I was devastated. So I got approached this is how good Comic-Cons are. I've been doing them for the last 15, 20 years, and my last few projects have all been Comic-Con created. So if you have a script, I hear the gremlin, Daddy, the gremlin's awake. If you have a script or an idea or something that you want to try and get off the ground, this is the perfect melting pot to do it in. Don't be afraid, go up to the actors, directors, writers, even a lot of people that come and attend, fans. You guys are all so intelligent and you're so creative and so amazing. So I got approached by a beautiful couple at DragonCon, a husband and wife producing team, producer and director, and they said, oh, we have this script. Originally, it's sound. Oh, no, something's happening. This is a mime. Wait, pause it at least, guys. This techie crew. It's very hard to get good hired help these days. Unless you want to hold her. So anyway, that's the teaser. And so another cool little story we have about hashtag is we actually had some of the backers come to the set, and for us it's so exciting because this is our baby. We shot it over like 2 weekends, but really for the backers it was pretty boring because 90% of the film is all computer graphics, so the set was really just a white box.
Welcome to a new celebrity franchise. Open your door to the rest of your life.
4, 3, 2, 1, ready, go.
Oh, I'm going all over you. X, what is your status? If you want to be successful, love what you're doing, submit. Submit. Product, flash. No, you were the best friends. You're bringing social media to the next level. Be famous.
I wish I was you.
The ultimate influencer. The ultimate celebrity. The ultimate you. You will have all the friends you've been dreaming of. Make their choices for them. You've opened the door to the rest of your life. Fame is just a heartbeat away.
Yeah, so there you go. So that's hashtag. We just got it into the San Diego Comic Con Film Festival. When Sky was 1 month old, they flew us to the UK for the UK premiere. That was amazing. It just got into Gen Con Film Festival as well, so it's getting some good credits. And so our plan with it is to use it as a sizzle. It's like about a 15-minute short film. The backers have seen it, but it hasn't been released publicly yet because we want to try and get as many cool credits from the film festival circuit, and then we want to use the short film as like a sizzle reel for an anthology series. So I know a lot of you guys have been like come up to the table and they're like, what the heck have you been doing for the last 15, 20 years? So other than pumping out babies, we've been working on beautiful hashtag. Straight after Farscape, I went on to do lots of Australian television. So on my website, I've got a lot the Australian show reels, so you can see some of the non-alien stuff. You guys are like, whatever, we only like aliens. So it's funny because my majority of work is actually non-sci-fi. But anytime I'm in the States, anytime I'm in the States, it's just once you've done one sci-fi, now you're a sci-fi actor. It's really funny. But you had a question.
I do. I was wondering about your role as Trish in Death.
Oh, where's the showdown?
Oh,
Quantum Apocalypse.
Yeah.
So I got to play a quantum physicist. I can't even pronounce the title. And she was amazing and cool and super like whacked out. And we had all these weird ideas because it's like sci-fi movies of the week, but they let you pretty much do anything you want. This one I think was shot in, like the first one we shot in St. Louis, and it was funny because I'd been on Farscape and I'd done a couple of conventions, done some Australian work, and then they asked me to come and shoot and they offered me a role, and I'm like, all these Australian actresses are like, oh, Hollywood's so hard, made it. Like, totally ridiculous, right? And then I get to St. Louis and I'm like, didn't make it. It was like, you've seen this film, Quantum Apocalypse and Showdown at Area 51. It's had like 20 different names. It was Judgment Day, then there was I don't even know what. But yeah, they're quite unique, to put it politely, these movies of the week. Another little project that I did in between Star Trek Continues as well, which is a really great production, is a film called Nexus. And again, it's a short film that we want to use as a sizzle reel to do a proper feature film. So I've got the little teaser for that. Would you guys want to check it out?
Yes.
I don't know whether they want. Do you want to see the whole thing? It's 15 minutes long.
Yeah.
You're like, not impartial. Let's just do the teaser, and then if we've got time at the end. He's only watched it like 50 million times. I'm like, I'm glad you're still digging it, babe. We'll show you the teaser and then you can
Nexus
decide.
technology could save the country's billions.
What's this on parallel universes?
That's the next face. Sometimes I told you not to go in there. So Nexus, again, was an Indiegogo. We needed to, I think we raised about 15 grand. We shot that in one weekend, and the gentleman, the director, is this young whiz kid from Guatemala, and he did all the computer graphics in his lounge room. It was just amazing. So, as I said before, like life's short, do what you love if you want to tell cool stories. Now, everyone has an iPhone or a Samsung or a smartphone. We can shoot the stuff ourselves, you know, even if it is a little sizzle reel to put on YouTube, you know, and then producers, like if you look at Netflix and Hulu, and everything seems a lot more accessible nowadays. But did anyone have any questions? Yes.
How do they choose for the accent? I know it's all the American English accent.
So these ones, for these two, they wanted like a standard sort of American, because a lot of people don't understand my Australian accent, especially this guy. He's like, I don't understand what you're saying, just text me. So they wanted, and we thought it was more, we could sell it better if it was American. I found a lot of people think the Australian accent's quite unique, but if you want to be like a lead on a show, it's pretty rare that you see an Aussie and American, you know. So that's how that kind of came about. It was funny because when I did the audition for Jim Henson's Creature Shop Challenge, so I had just worked on 3 seasons on a show called Rescue Special Ops in Australia, and it was all about paramedics and going into tight positions and abseiling and rock climbing and lots of stunts. And then the same channel started a new show called Tricky Business, and it was about debt collectors and a single mum and blah blah blah. So they asked me to go on to that one, so it was great. All the producers again came to set going, this is going to be the next big thing, it's going to go for years, 1 season. So you just never ever know. So after that little episode, I was like, you know what, I'm done with this acting thing. It's not making me feel strong and courageous anymore. I'm starting to buy into the ratings and the wins, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I said, this is not who I want to be. So I was walking with my sister, I have 7 brothers and sisters. Dad's been a very busy man. I'm like, Dad, stop, we've got no inheritance left, enough. So I was walking with my sister when I lived in Australia, and we were walking MacGyver, and I said, I don't know what I want to do. And she goes, well, what makes you happy? And this is years ago. And I said, oh, well, I like MacGyver. And she goes, well, I know, why don't you do like a pet walking thing? I'm like, perfect. So that day I went home, built a website, called it MacGyver and Me, and I put up this, you know, in my past I used to unicycle, so I put up this really cool photo of MacGyver running beside me unicycling, and I made up the whole website, and I show it to my family before it goes live, and my dad's like, that is a ridiculous idea. They're going to think you're going to run over the dog with your unicycle. No one can spell MacGyver. I was so proud. They're like, I was like, oh, okay. So I then called it Mac and Me, which was a whole other level of challenges, and put a very polite photo of MacGyver and me sitting on the front page. So MacGyver is this big golden retriever, and usually he's got a big smile on his face, but for this photo shoot, I got my brother into it. Yeah, he's 10 years younger than me. I said, Jake, can you just take a quick photo of MacGyver and me? He's like, I know what this means. This is like a whole day of trying. I know. I'm like, no, it's just 5 minutes, 5 minutes. 2 days later, because every photo that MacGyver was smiling, my hair's like this, or my things are looking at, and vice versa, you know, I'm like this, and he's like. So in the end, he ended up photoshopping a picture of MacGyver and another random one of me on top. Anyway, so we made up flyers. It was cheaper to do 5,000 than 1,000, so I'm like, yeah, do that, you know, as you do. And so the very first day, I've got my backpack. I've got MacGyver, I'm like, this is good advertising, we're doing a mailbox drop, we're like walking, you know, putting the flyers in the mailbox, and MacGyver sits down, he won't move. And I'm like this, and he's just looking at me like, walk? I hate walking. So I came back at the end of the day, sunburned, grumpy dog, grumpy girl, the whole thing. And we were living with like 5 different roommates at the time, and they're all just watching the ridiculousness. They're like, and I said to my brother, I'm like, I'm never going back to the entertainment industry again. I'm done with acting. I'm done. Like this, and he's sitting eating his cereal. He's like, okay, we'll see. He's like, you are such a drama queen that if you don't have drama in your life, you find some way of creating it. He'll vouch for that. So I'm like, no, totally done, over it, no. So next day, I get a phone call, an email from the Henson Company and the Sci-Fi Channel saying, oh, we'd like you to host the Jim Henson Creature Shop Challenge. I'm like, oh, I'm back! And Jake's eating his cereal and he's like, I thought you were over the entertainment industry. I'm like, shut up, Jake! I'm back! So I did the audition, so I had to go to New Zealand to do the audition to do a convention. And while I was there, they said, oh look, we want you to put yourself on tape. We want you to do all the audition in your American accent, and we want you to do it all in your Australian, which is weird because it's hosting, so you've got to be yourself. But anyway, so we did all that, and yes, Papa, she's just starting to say mum. And you know what? It's actually mum, not mom. So I think she's going to have an Australian accent. I've been doing the ABCs like this: A, B, C, D. So I did the self-test, and we uploaded it to Vimeo. And I don't know if you guys have ever been to New Zealand, but I'm pretty sure the sheep run the internet there because it's so bloody slow. You know, when you're watching the spinning gears kind of thing. And we finally put it, delivered it, emailed it to the States, and then we realised that it was about to start shooting only in a couple of days. And I said to Brian and to the emails back and forth, I said, guys, if you want me there, I'm going to have to fly straight from New Zealand. I literally went with a bag packed for the weekend, you know, as opposed to going back to Sydney because I'll miss the first day of shooting. So they said, well, you haven't got the part yet, but you haven't got the part yet, but what's your measurements? And I was like, oh, my measurements are blah, 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 you know, let's send that off. And then Brian Henson's assistant is actually called Gigi as well. So she called me up and she's like, hi Gigi, it's Gigi. I'm like, hi Gigi, have I got it? She goes, not yet, but what's your passport details? I'm like, oh. So I gave her my passport details, and she goes, okay, we'll call you back. And so then I waited, staring at the phone. This is what the majority of an actress's life is. It's just eyeballing a phone and thinking it's broken, you know. And then she called again. She's like, hey Gigi. I'm like, hi Gigi. She goes, look, you haven't got it yet. I'm like, ah, you know, and they want more details and bits and pieces. Hi, Papa. Hi. And then, so finally, the phone doesn't call. There's nothing happening. I'm like, oh my God, I'm unemployed again. I'm going to have to go back to Sydney, continue my dog walking business, which is going to be amazing, I'm sure. Get into the shower, like falling and cleansing my face and washing my hair. And then the phone rings, and I'm like, trying to get it totally naked, and I pick it up, and it's Brian Henson, and he's like, hey Gigi, I guess we'll see you tomorrow. And I'm like, Brian, I'm totally naked, and I'm covered in suds and bubbles, and I can't wait to be the host of your show. And he's like, okay, great, bye. So that was my introduction to good old Jim Henson's Creature Shop Challenge. Did you guys want to watch Nexus? It's like about a 10-minute little film.
Yes.
Yeah? Alright, cool. Give it a bash. Do we have time?
Oh yeah.
Cool. on.
Do you think we lost them?
I don't know. Let's get to the classroom and get out of here. This way. Downstairs, all the way.
Nexus technology could save countries billions. Why build a bridge or a tunnel if you can use a nexus? And that's not just across a river or a lake. You can open a nexus in Australia and drive directly from Sydney to the 405. Or anywhere, for that matter.
Would these devices just stick anywhere?
Anywhere, as long as it's on a flat surface.
What's this about phase 2?
We can make adjustments to the core and increase the output, and in theory, visit alternate realities.
Alternate realities.
Yeah.
You could go through that door thing and meet a different version of me.
It wouldn't be a doorway, but I could create a blaster that switches everything in its range between two universes.
I see. It's very interesting. But you're in the wrong reality. Because there's no way in this reality I approve this project.
But sir,
Look, you're brilliant. Probably the best we have. But parallel universes? We're a military tech company, Miss Jones. Not a Star Trek convention. Thank you, Miss Jones.
I think you're making a big mistake, sir. This could be the discovery of the century, and if you won't let me work on this project, then I quit.
and then he became a real dog. At the end, get some sleep.
Why do I have to go to sleep and you don't?
You know how you have a big test at school tomorrow? Well, I have a really big test at work tonight, so I gotta go.
You're going to work now?
It's okay. I'm only a few steps away. I love you. Mwah.
Ready?
Yeah, sorry I'm late. Let's tell this.
The core finally stabilized. We are ready to go, but I still need to insist on a frequency assessment. We still don't know what we'll find in any of the elements.
Listen, you're serious. I told you we won't know until we do it.
But I think it would be prudent.
No, we're ready. We're taking all the precautions. Turn it on.
Mom,
Ash, what are you doing here?
the line never broke.
Can you stop it?
It'll take 2 days to restore it.
Just leave it on. I'll be right back. How many times have I told you not to go in there? Mommy doesn't have time for this right now, okay? Get back.
Mom, are you coming or what?
Dr. J, excuse me.
Lucy, hi.
Did you get the request I sent to the nanocharger ships?
I did. However, I do not think that we're going to be able to.
It'll absolutely be worth your while.
I'm late for a meeting. Can we discuss this Monday?
Sure. One. May I? You're all crooked.
Thank you.
Have a good meeting.
parallel universes? We're a military tech company, Miss Jones, not a Star Trek convention. Thank you, Miss Jones.
And then he became a real dog. The end. Love you. Now go to sleep, okay?
Why do I have to go to sleep and you don't?
I would love to go to sleep. You know how your teacher, Mr. Skinner, gives you the worst ever homework? Well, my boss, Mr. Harris, has given me some very bad homework, and until I start working on my own projects, I have to do whatever the fudgy man says.
You said fudgy.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Kiss.
Ashley, you scared me. What are you doing up? It's like 5 in the morning.
The light never broke.
Maybe I told you. Darkness is just like photons. There's nothing to be afraid of. Just go back upstairs and turn your big light on. Okay.
Where are you putting the other one? It's not going to stick here.
You first.
No, it's too high.
I'm not jumping without you.
I'll do it. Just go first. You can cover me from the other side.
Jump. As long as you do jump.
Jump, honey, jump now!
as I was saying, we want to use that to pitch for a big feature film. The director's written it and it's amazing. It's pretty. I had to read it like 5 times to keep an eye on, to have a full understanding of all the different realities, because it gets very confusing. But yeah, so that was beautiful at Nexus, and we it was great because one of the cool things when you read a script, and it doesn't happen that often, there's a lot of fluff out there. There's a lot of very boring stories or stories you've heard before, but with hashtag and with Nexus, they both, when I read it, took me to another place. And you don't even need to act. It's just like surrender to the words and the story, and you just unravel. Like with the one where the house goes up in flames, like it was just horrible because you know, what a circumstance, you know. And then in the director at the end was quite upset. He goes, I didn't know you were going to go there. And I was like, walk. He goes, you can tone it down. I'm like, but I just wanted. Okay, go. You know. And the tears just kept coming. And originally he actually did the cut, and he didn't have a lot of the screaming. Even that, it was cut down quite a bit. But he didn't have much of the progression of the mum losing her mind when the house is up in flames. I said, babe, you have to do it because that's the whole reason for her to, you know, to carry on from that moment. And then the moment when I was in the elevator as well, I didn't expect to be having that memory of the house and everything. I didn't plan to cry, but I just stood there, and as I was watching the lights change, I was thinking about it, and stuff just flowed out. It was insane. So it's really rewarding telling such amazing stories that move your heart and soul. This last few years since I've moved back to the States, these projects that I've done, even though they're on a lot smaller scale, including the music video, have been some of the most rewarding I've ever done in my life, because when you do things from scratch with she's beatboxing, with like-minded people, it's extraordinary. Do you guys have more questions?
How long did it take you to practice and learn how to drop your accent?
It's funny because in my head I go, I have to put on an accent rather than drop this accent, so it's interesting how you guys do reverse it. Growing up, we've been taught at the American accent. Most of our television is American. Most of, one of our favourite shows growing up as kids was America's commercials, because you guys have the best advertisements, really clever ones, like the ones that you guys have in the Super Bowl. They used to, edit them all together, and we would stay up late to watch that, down under. So I feel like it's in there somewhere. Obviously, there's definitely, when I moved to the States, you try and finesse it more and more and more. Like even like little things like we say new and you guys say new, stuff like that. You can still say an American accent, but you can still mispronounce it. So just kind of along the journey, really. Hello.
So you probably heard the question like this before, but so where was Farscape in your career? So were you doing acting before, and then you got that role, and it got extended? So how did that sort of shape?
That's the first time I've ever been asked that. That's an awesome question. 20 years of Comic Cons. So I was growing up as a kid. I was really awkward. I didn't really fit in anywhere. I had some weird stuff happen to me as a kid that made me quite an introvert, and I wasn't very good with connecting with people. So my safe spot was when I was playing dress up and make believe, with the mermaids or the unicorns or Dark Crystal or Labyrinth. Like that was where I wanted to live, in a land like that. And so in school, again, I wasn't really in any group, and my safe spot was drama class and art class. And I love maths and science, but they just moved too fast for me, and I couldn't keep up. So I did community theatre and stuff, and then from community theatre kind of fell into auditioning for an acting school, and it was like 800 kids audition, like it was huge, and 12 kids get in. And the gods must have been looking down on me that day, because I don't even know how that happened. Oh, I tell you what, in school I did Madame Thénardier, and I did the monologue for the board, and I did, the scene, and I could tell it wasn't going well. They go, Mum, I go, they were like, do you have anything else? And I literally pulled it out of nowhere. I'm like, you know what? So I literally was like, oh, you know what? I did Madame Tenardier in Les Mis. They're like, yeah, okay, we'll see that. And so then I did Master of the House. And they were like, ugh. And I think that's what wedged me in there. So it was a 3-year acting course. You graduated with a Bachelor of Arts. You did theoretical as well as practical. So you did like 4 hours of acting every day, 5 days a week, from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. In the early days, in the early hours, you did history, psychology, yoga, voice and movement, and then they had the Boston Shakespearean Company come in and teach us how to fence, and we did Romeo and Juliet. So it was a really great course, but it was also kind of a bit, they definitely did some things that weren't by the book, because they wanted to be an elite drama class, and like when they might have to take her for a walk. You're loving this, aren't you? You two gremlins back there. Look at them. I like that I did not get a gremlin shirt. I'm like, oh, I'm not in the gremlin crew. So there was two couples that they were interested in playing Romeo and Juliet, and they took us to the doctors and they stuck a camera down our throat to see if our vocal cords could project for the theatre, and I don't think that's probably a right thing to do. Anyway, so there's some weird little interesting things that happen along that course. Managed to graduate. In the second year, they actually sent us out for a casting for a mini-series, just for a little baby role. It was actually I think I told you guys this on Friday if you're in the chat. It was called The Granville Train Disaster. It's a true story, and it was about a ballerina who, one of the girls did ballet, and her legs got crushed. So still to this day she can't, walk properly and has calipers and all that. So it was a pretty intense scene, and that they asked me to come back in and read for. So and from that, I got the role, which was amazing, because then I had to complete my university degree and also do this show as well, which was great, but also brought in a lot of tension too, because in the class, obviously, everyone's an actor and everyone's trying to get to the next level, so it was a very interesting, challenging time. The agent, one of the top agents in Sydney, had sent one of her top girls to go for that same part, and she said, when they said she hasn't got it, she goes, I want to see the audition of the girl that did get it, because I know my girl's good. And so she watched my audition tape, and then she flew me an hour's flight to Sydney from the Gold Coast, and she said, I want to represent you. So it was all such a beautiful blessing, So from that, the very first proper role I did after that was like a little role on the show called Water Rats. It was like a police show on the water. And I was a sugar girl to this lady. And I remember doing the audition scene. It was a really good scene, and the character was really screwed up. And I love playing the dark, screwed up characters, because we've all got that little bit inside us that you're not meant to go near. And when you get paid to do it, it's like, yes. So we did that, and that was great. And then the next audition was Farscape, and that was only meant to be one episode, and they liked the character, so I stuck around. But I think you guys need to know that we are just as big a geeks as you guys. Like, as I said, our daughter's name is Skywalker. We have a lightsaber that we bring to all the conventions. The amount of times that the security have tried to confiscate it until he brings it out, starts doing the move, and all the security guards are like, oh, do it again. It's hysterical. We, like, even to the point where, so I'm in a band in Hollywood, we're called the Fancies. That's one of the bands I play with. And we had this show one time, and the promoter for Stan Lee's Comic-Con, and when Stan Lee was around, massive respect, he organised his 95th birthday party and everything. So it was Jed and the promoter sitting in the audience, and by the time I got off stage, Jed goes, oh babe, you're going to be playing at Stan Lee's Comic-Con. I'm like, huh, what? I was like, oh yeah, it's fine. And then the promoter goes, yeah, it's just, a small group of people, and he showed a video, and it's like thousands of people with their lightsabers, and I'm like, what am I doing? You know?
You're welcome.
Seriously, and right before, like it was that, so I did, if you guys have heard of them, the Flux Capacitors, they're like an 80s band, which right now, they're actually doing the premiere for the Stranger Things party, and they're converting the whole of Santa Monica Pier right now into the 80s, and they're the big band. Isn't that cool? So, and they're just such a lovely group of people, so I performed a couple of songs with those guys. And then right before, like, because it was like Halloween and everyone was dressing up, and they're 80s, so I wanted to be 80s but not Back to the Future, because I wanted people to know that I'm not part of the band, just a guest singer. I'm like, oh, babe, I want to be the girl from Weird Science, and he goes, you mean the one in the jocks and the midriff? I'm like, okay, maybe something else. So I go to my storage cabinet underneath my apartment at the time, and I'm going through all my crap, and I find this cat suit that's stuck together from mold and stinkiness, you know, it's been wedged in the heat, melting. And I actually used it for a film that I directed a million years ago, co-directed, called Nobody Knows. You can watch it free on my YouTube channel, and it's actually about an experience that happened to me on Farscape. So I pull out this stinky cat suit, and I wedge it on with my bed hair and whatever else, and he's still in bed with the cat under one arm and the dog under the other, and I'm like, ta-da! And he's like, you stink, you dirtbag. He goes, you know what you need? Febreze. I hate Febreze. I hate it. But there wasn't enough time to wash it and organise it and whatever, so I Febrezed the buggery out of it. And then, it looked great. It looked hot on the night, but don't come anywhere near me because I just like Febreze. So this is the kind of ridiculous life we have, you know. And then the next day, I was so tired, on like 3 hours sleep, and Jed sneaks me into the back, because to walk through the whole Comic-Con was ridiculous, right? So we illegally park it out the back, and then sure enough, who do we see walk out? Stan Lee, with his beautiful, you know, with the manager. So, and I've seen him in a million Comic-Cons before, because we used to sign a lot, you know, at similar ones. And he's always had such a big entourage with him. And it's so rare to see him just, you know, with one other person. So Jed's like, babe, babe! I'm like, no, don't you dare.
I'm like, yes.
So what did he say?
So there was like an industrial like trash room where all the trash for the convention goes. And in that room was also like a service corridor where you can like sneak people in and out. And so the door's open where the trash is at, and then Stan Lee walks out of the trash. And I'm like, hey, Gigi, Stan Lee just walked out of the trash. She's like, shut up. I'm like, no, look. And I'm like, there he is, like walking out of the service trash area. And I'm like, oh my God, let's go up to him, let's go talk to him. She's like, no. And I'm like, yeah. So we go over and we talk to him. He sat with us for like 5 minutes. He started cracking jokes, and he was awesome, so cool. But it was great. Yeah, he just walked out of the trash. What did he say?
He goes, Jed's standing there just with this photo, and I'm like, oh my God, he can't even put words together. I'm like, Stan.
No, I clearly said, can we get a photo together?
I don't know about that. Okay, honey. So we go, I said, Stan, nice to meet you. I've attended your Comic-Con. I'm one of your guests. You know, I'm Gigi. He goes, oh, you know, I know who you are. I'm like, yeah, right. And he goes, so we take a photo, and then afterwards he says,
what did he say?
He said,
like,
well,
oh, you're the great, but what is this guy doing over here?
He goes, well, that was the best thing that happened to me today, apart from you bringing this guy along. But
thanks, Stan.
Thanks, Stan. But he sounded like he had that.
Yeah. He sounds just like he does in every single cameo. It's just like, that's so cool.
Uh-oh, watch out. But more questions, guys? Any more before we hit the road?
We got about 5 minutes.
Okay, cool. So I want to tell you, just to wrap up, my brother and I, he's a musician as well, one of the many brothers. He's 10 years younger than me. His name's Jake. And last year we toured all around the world doing the Wonderland tour. We have a website, it's called Wander, like wandering, wonderland.love. On that website you'll see all our music clips and videos and stuff. We travelled Australia, Toronto, New York, San Francisco, Atlanta, Little Rock, Lake Charles, New Orleans. It was like crazy, and it was all a fan run tour. So I just put up on Facebook and Twitter, I said, hey guys, my brother and I want to play for you. We want to share an amazing evening with you. If you have any suggestions or you'd like to join us, or you have a backyard, a lounge room, a Comic-Con, a nightclub, a restaurant, please contact me, and it's me, it's contacting you back. It's not, you know, a big company or anything like that. And we'll come to you. So it was the most amazing adventure of our lives. And then after I'd sort of booked all the accommodation and done all the social media and all that stuff for it, we found out this little one was on board. So she's seen every show from the inside. And from pretty much all through my second trimester, I think some venues were a little perturbed, like, you know, I send them all these sexy promo shots and then I rock up with this, like, hey, that's me, +1. So it was really cool. Anyway, this year we're doing it again in August. The grand finale will be at Dragon Con. And we're going, at the moment, we've got a show in Denver, Memphis, New Mexico, New York, Rhode Island. I haven't told you all about these shows. It's going to go, what? Wait, what? I'm babysitting when? And then, and possibly, maybe, we're talking to one of the guys, maybe doing one at the Lincoln. So, please, the email on that website, wonderland.love, goes directly to me. So if you do have suggestions or anything you'd like to be part of the show, please let me know. Because that's the other thing too, is that we weren't just rocking up to different towns, putting on a show. If people were fellow musicians, or people wanted to come up and read a poem, or do some burlesque, or do some gymnastics, or whatever your passion is, then people were joining and making the show a bigger, cooler, you know, jam session. My website is myname.com. It has links to all the social media, a lot of baby pictures, dogs and kitten pictures too, so watch out. But yeah, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that fun stuff. And thank you so much, guys. We're so appreciative. Thank you for having our beautiful family here. We love you very much. We'll be back at the table now until about 3:40. So come over and say hello and all that jazz. Bye. Bye.